sometimes people have what it takes, but they haven't recognized it yet. Just go forward. So what do you need to do? How do you stand out? So what you need to do is be that person that's different and is bigger than you think. Rise from the ashes and fly like the phoenixes that you are. Welcome and hello, everybody. Andrew David Blake Newbar's Partner Program, Monday through Friday, noon Eastern Time. Talking to you about marketing online, talking to you about social media, what to do, how to do it, all that fun stuff. So yesterday we talked a little bit about LinkedIn. Some of you guys connected with me, so well done, congratulations, awesome. Some of you guys started taking action. How many of you opened up your account maybe for the first time in a long time, or it was first time ever, or you started looking around? How many of you guys actually got in and did that? I got a couple of messages from John and some others. A couple of you guys found me there. So took me a while, it's been. So, but you got on there, right? Anybody getting on, have any difficulties getting in and getting started with it? Any questions on anything to begin with? No? All right, so let's kind of do a quick recap on LinkedIn and why LinkedIn can work. Okay, so here's a fun statistic, a couple of fun statistics. 51% of companies acquired B2C, which is business to customer, to client, whatever, through LinkedIn. Now, most of us are going B2B, right? Most of us are dealing with companies. Now, you could almost argue that certain digital marketing, some others, they have a company set up, but they're almost a B2C type of client. But 93% of B2B marketers consider LinkedIn to be the most effective site for lead generation, partly because they're ignoring Facebook. I do want to emphasize Facebook works exceptionally well with what we do, but LinkedIn is something you want to pay attention to. It's responsible for 64% of all visits from social media channels to corporate websites. Corporate and the level at which we work is slightly different. Please understand that, right? We're not going after the big companies, but a lot of the smaller ones, if you're real estate, if real estate is your niche, if financial advisors is your niche, if property managers, all sorts of other things. So yeah, if someone's got the Skype link, drop it in. Q, I don't know if you've got access to that. If not, I'll get it here in a second, guys. So LinkedIn generates more B2B. Q, you can just drop it into the chat here in the main one, just in case. So 50% of LinkedIn members report they're more likely to buy from a company they engage with on LinkedIn. And then 80% of LinkedIn members want to connect with companies to enhance their decision-making. Meaning it works, right? And there's a number of different ways to do it. So I'm going to highlight a couple of different things that you can do. If you're on LinkedIn, close that. So here's your main page, set up real similar to Facebook in this regards. This is your, I don't know if they call it a newsfeed. I call it a newsfeed. This is posts from other people. Some of them are business. This is a friend of mine. He just shifted companies, new position. You can instead of just liking, you can, it's not pulling up. There's the other heart, etc. You can come in and you can comment, congratulations on the new position. They have, just like Facebook has, they've got some basic things that you can post when it's something like this. You can share, so you've got post through here. Okay. A lot of times what you'll see is someone that you're connected to, like Scott Kelly, love this post. I'm not connected with Rashawn Copeland. Okay. Now what you see is Rob Courtney. So this is a first level. So that means that we're contacts on here. Okay. We're connected. This right here says Rashawn Copeland. Can you guys see where it says second? Right next to his name. So that means that Rashawn Copeland is connected to someone that I'm connected to. So it's kind of that next level, that friend of a friend. It's the next level out. It's a good way to start connecting with other people. If you go, Well, maybe you can't get to, we've all heard like that 7 layers of connection. What is that, right? So you have that. With social media, it's different, right? It's even closer. Now it's like, I don't know, 3, 4, maybe, right? Like you can get connected to just about anybody, you know. Some of you guys are 1 or 2 steps away. Hey, Sir Craig, been a bit. Good to see you guys. Some of you guys are 1 or 2 steps away from people that would put me right in touch with them, right? And vice versa. I'm connected to some that would put you right there. So LinkedIn allows you to see that. So maybe you're trying to go after a target audience. Someone throw a niche out for me. Give me a niche that you're in that you think might be prevalent on LinkedIn.
Orthodontics.
Orthodontics. Okay. Let's look at that. That's probably one I don't have too many first level connections, right? So if we look up orthodontics, and you can look up any topic here, guys. So you'll have orthodontics. The first thing that pops up is groups. Hey, you think we've given you a little bit of training on what you can do inside of groups? Yes, absolutely. So same type of thing here. You can go after groups. Companies. So here's companies that are directly connected to that, right? That have orthodontics in what they do. You can look at all company results. Let's do that real quick. 13,000 results right there. Now, if I added in dentistry, that'd increase, right? Now I can take this and I could go North America, 10,000. Company size, I don't know, 1 to 10. So you can pick multiples here, 9,000, right? So there's all sorts of filters that you can go through. Over here, I can come down and now all of these people, there's 123,000 people that have orthodontics in their headline or their title or what they do. Please understand, some of them may have done it in the past. Okay, like I had, if we come in, we look at mine. So like this is Control Digital Marketing, this is my digital agency. So this is a company page. I'm going to show you guys in a second what we're going to be doing with that, because I'm going to recommend you do one. So on LinkedIn, if I come to my profile and we scroll down and we look at experience, right? I've got a number of different things. Trans first is when I was doing the 6-foot digital kiosks. I mentioned to you guys, I've told that story before. Recro Max, one-stop cleaning and restoration. Like this is my restoration days, right? Cleaning, restoration, water damage, all that kind of stuff. I still get occasionally people messaging me about cleaning and restoration. Because sometimes when you look up here, sometimes it still pops up. So you want to make sure that, you kind of, but heck, you connect with them. And if it's not right, it's not right. And that's okay. But so if we look here, Jason Battle is a second connection, meaning he's connected to a lot of people I'm connected to. We have shared connections. We actually have with him, I've got Nicolette Spooner, Lisette Pamplona, and 27 other shared connections. So essentially 29 people between he and, that he's connected to that I'm connected to. We got a few comments here. Let me see. Cleaning, addiction specialists. Yeah, I mean, so addiction and recovery is something that I've got a number of connections with, Jamie, because that's one of the niches that I work with. My Control Digital Marketing, if you look, digital marketing for addiction treatment centers. That's the niche that we work in. So you guys, health coach is interesting. So we can look. All right. So Bruce, obvious that we can find some orthodontics here, right? And this is just, so I can go through, if I wanted to, I can connect. You can add a note, right? You can write something in. I'm not going to do this right now. I'm not trying to connect with a bunch of orthodontics, so I'm not going to, but you can hit connect. You can send that. Odds are with 27 shared connections, he would connect with me, right? Even without a note. but that's something to do. 123,000. Now, if we look up health coaches, like I know realtors, guys, is yeah, I'll show you that. But let's say health coach. 431,000 people call themselves a health coach. Now, some of them are like this, mental and emotional health, a little bit different, right? But they also have hashtags. Some of these people have optimized their profile a little bit. Okay. So she's got hers looking a little bit different, which is great. She's got her, the link for her website right here. NLP, Master Coach and Trainer, Ray of Life Coaching. Does that sound like, other than just health coach, does it sound like it might fit a couple of you? I know it would. Some of you guys are going after life coaches and others. Holistic Health, National Marketing Director with Juice Plus, Holistic Gut Health. So there's different things that you can look up. Obviously, so they start with locations that are closer to me or people that may be connected in one way or another. So second means that I've got some people that are connected, right? But they're here and you can find them. I can put in US. I mean, you can go down, how many just in the UK? 33,000. What if I just did Florida? 19,000 in Florida. So sometimes you guys go, well, I can't find any. Look for them. Do a little bit extra. Right? What else do we have in here? There's some pretty active groups for coaches. Yeah, there's a ton of them. Good, John. So groups. What do we need to do if we're looking at groups? Groups are, so the best way to look at groups is to look up a topic, right? So I could do, if I want to niche down, I could do a real estate investor. So I've got companies here. So if I want to reset, and instead of companies, I want to go to groups. There's 1,100 groups for real estate investors. 1,100. This one's got 218,000 members in it. Kent Littlejohn, there you go. He's a guy that does a ton of marketing, right? Here's people just like what you guys do, right? This is someone that's a graphic design. So it's not, here's bookkeeping for real estate investors. And then you have others that have an actual property. Like, it's a great location for people that are actively in here doing that, right? And you're not going to get as spammy typically, meaning some of the groups in Facebook, I'm sure some of you guys have realized that there's some people from different parts of the world that are just spamming the groups. There's less of that here, but you'll still experience it some. But it's a good chance to kind of get in and you can look at what's going on and you can find, right? So here's another group. These are groups that I'm in, right? Does that make sense, guys? You see how that can work, how you can find some people there? All right. Now, when I'm posting, let me make this a little bigger. This is a post from someone that's a decent example. Like, he's using hashtags inside the post. There's questions in here, right? Along with a link to a blog to take people off. But there's some good points in there. So there's different things that you can do. You want to write out good copy. We give you training on how to write copy. You want to ask questions. You want to test out the length. You want to play around with it. Staying native means keeping them on LinkedIn, leveraging groups. Eventually, some of you guys might want to start your own groups. I wouldn't start there. There's more than enough out there. Just find the ones that are active in your niche. And then you want to begin to put out your own content. So this is for advertising. I'll give you guys these slides. If you're going to run ads with LinkedIn, here's some of the stuff that you do depending on your criteria. This would be something that you do anyway. When you're on LinkedIn, when you kind of hone in on who your audience is, think about company size. So like we were doing with the orthodontics, I'm not looking for companies that are going to have typically, 200, 300, 500 plus people, right? I'm not looking for large corporations. I'm looking for the smaller ones. You can find individuals if you're doing digital marketers, say you're targeting people that are in their 40s and up that are getting started with digital marketing. I would go after people that have a corporate job, that have marketing in their title, maybe people that are in transition. So you'll have people that are seeking opportunities. That might be a good place to look for people, right? Because you can put in your job description, seeking opportunity, which essentially pops you up in job searches, right? Because companies will go on and look, and people that have certain characteristics, things on their resume and things like that will pop up in job searches. I don't have seeking opportunities, but I don't know, I pop up in 75 to 125 job searches every week, right? And then some of those recruiters will go look at my page. They'll see that I'm not really looking for something, and then they'll bounce, right? Is this making sense, guys? What questions do you guys have about? So a few of you connected with me on LinkedIn. How many of you haven't had a chance, Lynn? I know you posted that. Lynn, what I would do is maybe open it, look at it, but concentrate on Facebook. Get some of those basics first. Don't stress about learning another one just yet. Is it possible to delete an old LinkedIn profile that I've never used and start a new one? Probably. Maybe start a new email address. Just start an account with a new email. Odds are you probably got more than one email address. Redo searching groups. Yeah, Amanda, what do you want me to look for in groups? What do we want to look for? What niche are we looking at? I have groups pulled up but not seeing the search filter. I'm on LinkedIn and I just look up groups. So, I mean, you could do that, but like, did you pull up this is what you pulled up? Beauty esthetician. All right. So what I would do is just in LinkedIn, you put in beauty. Am I spelling it? I'm gonna put in beauty aesthetics. Is that all right? Or no, that's not the right word, right? Esthetician. Am I close? My brain's not working today, guys. Is that right? Kind of. All right, let's see if that pops up. Okay, licensed esthetician. So if I'm here, people would be what, 297,000. Now, where it says people, where it's green right there, you can just drop down and you have all people, jobs, companies, schools, groups. And I pull up groups. So there's only 10 groups that have that, but so there's 10,000 here, 9,000. The other ones just started, one member, 75,000 there. Now, if I look up salon professional, right? Where there's probably other things that they call themselves besides just beauty esthetician, right? What would be, so fashion and beauty experts, what else would be cosmetologists, right? Isn't that, no, would that be? Am I correct? I mean,
like all of the training for everything.
Right. But that may be where you
Esthetician is more like skin.
Okay. Well,
I'm kind of focusing on kind of all of them, like, hair professionals, skin professionals.
Okay. Well, then
esthetician, whatever, Botox,
Well, then if I look at cosmetology, then I've got,
I kept trying to hit that.
14,000, 7,000.
So it's like the 75,000 one's bad because there's too many. It's probably
Not necessarily. I mean, you're going to have to hop
Like that
into
one
it.
in California has all three groups. You'd have to get one that's trained in everything.
Well, I mean, you hop into it and take a look. Just because they're all three doesn't necessarily mean it's bad for you. If there's enough of your audience, then it can work, right? And if you get a little bit, here's the thing, like we want you to niche down, guys, because it makes more sense, right? Like I'm not trying to go after all entrepreneurs, but let's say you're going after estheticians. Well, a lot of those estheticians are going to be in groups with other people in cosmetology in general. And so there may be some hairstylists and there may be some that perform other services. So I'm in there and I'm talking to estheticians. Am I going to be upset if somebody else sees it? No, of course not. That's fine. Right. And because odds are it's close enough. It's just like real estate investors. You're going to end up with some realtors and you're going to end up with some mortgage and you're going to end up with some title. And that's fine. I'm just not trying to cover all real estate services because then I look like someone that's almost desperate. Right. And then you're not connecting with anybody. But if I come, if someone comes along and they go, oh, this guy really knows what he's talking about when it comes to addiction recovery. Right. Well, I've ended up with nonprofits that happen to work with that. I've ended up with other mental health professionals. We've ended up with dentists and doctors because they recognize we can handle, the ins and outs of trying to find patients, which doesn't change much. And so I've still attracted some others, even though I'm not directly targeting them. Are we following? We have questions. Do we disagree? Does anyone want to call me a fool? What's going on? Are we all here? All right. So here's your next step.
But I did have a question. Like, do you
Yeah.
want to go after groups that have like a whole lot of followers, or do you get lost? That's what I was kind of wondering is, do you get lost in like so many followers, you get kind of lost in the numbers versus like, do you want to stay down to what your specialty is?
I would do it based off of the overall number in the group isn't as important as level of activity.
How do you know the level of activity though?
You just scroll through the group and see how often people are posting. I mean,
So
really,
when you
that's about
add
it.
to, like what you just showed as far as the group, and it showed like 75,000, you go in there and see if they're posting on it.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of them you can see. Now, some of them they may ask you to, you got to fill out stuff and you got to join. But some of them you can kind of see, just join. And then if it's too many posts every day, if I'm in a group and I look and there's, 100 posts in a day, then I'll probably bounce. I mean, I may try and post a couple of things first to see, right?
I haven't really done groups. I just mostly done people.
Yeah, individual.
And they seem to interact better than I've done.
Oh, sure. But groups work because it's one place that you can get in front of possibly hundreds or thousands of individuals. So you want to use it, right? But I'd join a couple and then, feel them out. And if it doesn't work, join a different one.
Okay.
Right. But typically, here's the thing, we go back and forth with this. It requires more than one viewpoint, more than one touch. Just because you posted, I posted 3 times in the last 2 weeks. That's nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It really isn't. Pick anywhere from 3 to 10 groups, post in those, couple of comments, and post on your page. Right? And then I do that for a little bit. That's if I'm going to decide that I want to use this as a marketing channel. And if I do, then I'm going to utilize it. Right. So I'm starting on mine. I'm going to show you guys, week after week, I'll show you progress, what's going on with personal page. I'm, reached out to my partner because he's been kind of in control of the company page and hasn't been doing much with it. He's concentrating on other stuff. So I'm going to take over posting there. So we're going to have more content there, and I'm going to join a handful of groups so we can generate some leads that way. Right. I'm going to do it in 2 niches. Actually, I'm going to do it with my addiction recovery. I'm also going to do it with real estate and real estate investing. Okay. So I'll show you guys what that looks like. Okay. So I'm going to do it with both. I'm going to do it on Facebook or on LinkedIn. I'm concentrating there for the next few months. But for today, as a quick challenge for you, hopefully you guys are still following your challenge. You're getting in your work. You're doing your affirmations. You're doing your reading, doing all of those things. Get to work. Make sure, you get something done each and every day, guys. But today's part of, focus on your business can be hop into LinkedIn, do a little research, try and connect to a couple of people in your category, maybe join a couple of groups. Real simple. Okay. Do that. And then I will let you know later on this afternoon, first thing tomorrow, I will affirm that whether or not we are doing a call tomorrow. If we do, it's going to be a guest. I won't be available. But Friday we're back on. Okay. Friday I am here, and questions that you have about LinkedIn, bring them. We'll chat about it, but then we'll also do some Facebook. Okay. Forrest, I haven't had a chance to respond yet. I will. Thank you. I did read it, so I appreciate you. And then some of you guys have connected with me already there. Go ahead and find me, and we'll get rocking and rolling. All right. Appreciate you guys. Go out and get some work done. We'll talk soon. Take care, everybody.
Thank you, Andrew. Make it a great day, partners.
Sometimes people have what it takes, but they haven't recognized it yet to go forward. So what do you need to do? How do you stand out? So what you need to do is be that person that's different and is bigger than you think. Rise from the ashes and fly like the phoenixes that you are.